July the 21st, 2019. Guys, we got an update on these tracking models, and we're getting more of a south and west movement on all of them. Remember the video before this, it was a split. About 5 of these models were going to show it going either into the Gulf or make contact with Florida. About 5 of the other ones were keeping it into the Atlantic. But as we pull this up, that ratio has changed from 7 going either into the Gulf of Mexico or across Florida to just 3 now keeping it out into the Atlantic, if you want to count that. But guys, we have, let me back it out just a moment here. We got a straight line from one model tracking straight into Mexico. You have one coming close to the Houston area. We have one coming up into the Panama City area, and one that stops here. Then you have 1, 2, 3 that bring it ashore into Florida on the East Coast, between probably the Fort Lauderdale area and up in Central Florida. And if you look at this, those also show it coming into very close to South Carolina, possibly making landfall along the South Carolina, North Carolina border, tracking out and moving into the Atlantic. Now, if in that track, guys, you would want to watch for flooding rains. Remember the season from last year? But again, now we are at from a 5-5 split to a 7-3, either contacting Florida here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 showing it going between Florida and Cuba into the warmer waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Let's look at a couple of satellite images. And as we look at the models, again, going from day to night, that's where the satellite's changing the filters, you can clearly see the center of rotation. Now, it's struggling to pick up some clouds and wrap them around it. You can see as we go into the night, we're starting to see that. The problem is the wind shear is changing. Look, coming off of Cuba and coming off of Florida. So the storm is going to constantly battle a wind shear from this direction at the upper levels. And the folks at the National Hurricane Center are watching that wind shear too. But and I back this out, guys, just looking at the nation, because we've been watching storms in the central part and the northeast because of these excessive heat warnings. You can see what's going on now, and look just in the center of the screen. And that may be where you're going to have some trouble tonight, guys. Keep your weather radios on there, and from there eastward. You can see the storms popping up. And you are in the, again, you still got some of the heat warnings going on, and you've got severe thunderstorm warnings and watches going on. And watch for your updates. And again, if you're in this area, watch for tornadoes. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.